Now, I want all of you to just keep watching for some time. First, I'll explain all the concepts and definitions. Got it? You don't have to write anything. Once we finish with all the explanation, then I'll ask you to solve the problems along with me. Okay, beta? Everyone, please focus here. Now, let us start with this. See, electronic effect, when we use the word electronic effect, it is about how the electrons are distributed over the entire species, whether it is an molecule, whether it is an ion, or anything. How electrons are distributed, around that species will cause something called electronic effects. Electronic effects mainly are of four kinds: inductive effect, resonance effect, hyperconjugation, right, and electromeric effect. Okay, we are more concerned about resonance today. Now, what is resonance? Now, resonance is that case where a single structure cannot be account for all the properties of molecule, which means one Lewis structure does not help to explain the resonance. For instance, if we have O3, we know that O3 can be attributed to two structures, plus and minus this way, or we can have double bond O plus and minus this way. These two structures both included explains the property of ozone, and both of them are valid Lewis structures. Therefore, concept of resonance is applied for those cases where a single structure is not able to account all the properties of the molecule or the ion. Everybody understand that point first. Next important point, when you have bond pairs in which electrons are being attracted by more than two nucleus, usually if you have bond pairs in which electrons are being attracted by more than two nucleus, okay, we call it as delocalized electrons. For example, if you have carbon-carbon single bond like this, these electrons, these bonded electrons are limited to only these two atoms. Okay, even if we have a double bond, these two electrons are also attributed to these two atoms only. But there may be situations where we have 3 to 4 carbons and electrons are moving between these 4 carbons. So such type of electrons or such type of pair of electrons are called delocalized electrons. Everyone understand the term? These type of electrons which keep moving around multiple carbon atoms or multiple nuclei, those are called delocalized electrons. Next important term, if you have various type of pair of electrons, the type of pair of electrons we usually see are lone pairs, we see lone pairs, we see bond pairs. Within bond pair also we may have sigma bond pair or we may have pi bond pair, right? So pi bonded electrons or sigma bonded electrons or lone pairs. If you recall, while you were drawing the Lewis structures, you might have come across these three types of pair of electrons. Now, what is the energy between these three pair of electrons? Lone pair, which is present at a very small space, that would have more amount of energy as compared to that of pi electrons and as compared to that of sigma electrons. So lone pair, if you have more number of lone pairs, it would have more amount of potential energy, less stability. If you have more number of sigma bonds, it would have more stability, less potential energy. So energy wise, whenever you compare, always think that lone pair will be more energy carrier compared to that of pi, compared to that of sigma. Okay. Next important point. In general, if you compare carbon-carbon single bond, it is approximately 1.54 Armstrongs, while carbon-carbon double bond is around 1.34 Armstrongs. When it comes to benzene, the bond length is neither 1.34 nor 1.54, which means it is not completely double bond, it is not completely single bond. This would happen because of resonance. What is this resonance? It is the delocalization of adjacent parallel p orbital electrons, which means electrons from one pi orbital, one p orbital is being delocalized to the next p orbital. That effect brings what we call it as resonance. Through resonance, okay, so through resonance, the electron density in the molecule becomes uniform. Okay, so usually electron density won't be staying at one place, it will be distributed about multiple places. Think this way: suppose there are 4 carbons here and electron density is high here and hardly there is some electron density here. Now this molecule here, electrons will be only attracted, this entire density has been attracted mainly by these 2 carbons. Now imagine a situation where this entire electron density is being distributed this way. It's distributed this way. When electron density get distributed this way, now this electron density has been attracted by this nucleus, this nucleus, this nucleus, as well as this nucleus. So what would happen? One, electrons will occupy more space. Second, they will be attracted by multiple nucleus, and that brings stability to the molecule. Okay. So whenever there is a resonance happening, it will try to increase the uniformity in the electron density, and that uniformity will increase the stabilizing factor, and hence the phenomena of resonance will always give a stabilizing effect. So point what we were discussing is that resonance will always bring stabilizing effect. Due to resonance, we'll always see stabilization of molecule because of the uniform distribution of electron density. Okay, let me take you through an example. If you consider the Lewis structure of benzene, how does the Lewis structure looks like? These are the two Lewis structures, which are also known as the canonical or resonating structures. Now these are theoretical forms, which means molecule may not exactly exist this way, but as per Lewis rules, if you apply, we will write these structures, right? The real structure of benzene is always known as hybrid, which means it is a mixture of these two. That means canonicals, the hybrid will always have characteristic of all canonicals. It will show this characteristic, it will show the characteristic of B. Hence it is represented this way. So this pi, these 3 pi's and these 3 pi's, which are delocalized, we show it like a circle here, a dotted circle. Okay, so that is exactly the real structure, or what we call it as the hybrid structure. This is the real form of it. Now, how does the orbital condition must have been in benzene? Check out. There is a pi bond which is between these two p orbitals. There is one pi bond here, there is one pi bond here. This is as per canonical 1 or Lewis structure 1. Similar pi bonds I can write between these 2 carbons, between these two and these two. This is canonical 2, and this is how the bond line structure which you can write. Okay, but as we discussed, that you observe here carefully, these orbitals are parallel orbitals. This p orbital and this p orbital are parallel orbitals. So the pi bond which is formed here will slowly start sharing here also, and this pi bond will start sharing here also, because the distance between the pi bonds here, the distance between the orbitals here is equivalent to the distance between the orbitals here. So it would start sharing electrons throughout all the pi bonds now. Clear? Now that increases the electron distribution over the entire atom, which brings the stability to the molecule. That's why you see in the real hybrid structure, the pi bond gets delocalized over the entire orbitals. Above there is half pi bond, below there is half pi bond here. Clear, everybody? So that's how parallel orbitals is a very important condition when it comes to resonance. So we need to have parallel pi orbitals. Observe here. So between two carbon-carbon single bonds, the bond length was supposed to be 1.54 and double bonds 1.34. Now, every bond, if you check out, if I consider this as carbon 1 and carbon 2, in this canonical, it is a single bond. In this canonical, it is a double bond. So, between these two carbons, C1 and C2, it would have both single bond and a double bond character here. So, you can see this is C1 and C2. And that mix would be somewhere between these two bond lengths. Clear, everyone? Now, resonating structures in generally do not exist, but they contribute to the stability of the resonance hybrid, and hybrid is the real structure. More number of resonating structure, more is the stability, because more amount of delocalization is seen, and more delocalization, more is the stability. Okay, students? Now, more stable resonating structure contributes most to the resonance hybrid, which means if you see the structural form of this molecule and this molecule, they are exactly same. In fact, if you observe benzene, benzene has many other forms also. These two forms which I am writing, these are called Kekulé structures. Other than that, we have many other resonating forms which you can write this way. This is called Dewar structures. Now, if you consider all of these molecules, the most contributing type of canonicals are only these two. These two are less contributing because of, a lot of strain that is developed when there is a bond which is forming, sigma bond which is forming between these two carbons. So this type of molecules contribution is very less. Majority of the contribution comes from this Kekulé structure. So the hybrid will have always the characteristic of more stable canonical structures. So Kekulés are more stable than the Dewar structure. So that's why hybrid will have more canonical forms, more contribution from these canonicals rather than these canonicals. Everybody understood this point? So that's the next important point, that the most stable resonating structure contributes more to the resonance hybrid. Now, the potential difference between the most stable resonating structure and resonance hybrid is called the resonance energy. The stability is directly proportional to the resonance energy. More the amount of resonance energy, more is the stability. So potential energy of the hybrid minus potential energy of the stable canonical. You may have learned this in thermodynamics, where you may have plotted a graph where, suppose if this is the potential energy of the hybrid. So this is potential energy of the hybrid. And we have many canonicals. So canonical 1, canonical 2, canonical 3, I'll write it as C1, C2, C3, different canonicals. Out of these all canonicals, the most stable canonical is this one, which has less potential. So the difference between these two is what we call it as resonance energy. Okay. Just try to recall, you may have learned this before. Resonance energy is nothing but potential energy of this hybrid minus potential energy of this stable canonical. Okay. Usually potential energy of hybrid is less. So overall you would see the potential energy, resonance energy will always be negative. Okay, everybody. Now, how do we see whether there is an existence of delocalization happening? If there is any delocalization, how is it? Let us go through few examples. Suppose if this species is given CH2 double bond CH, CH2 plus. If I write how their pure p orbitals are, first of all, let me tell you what are their hybridizations. This carbon has sp2 hybridization, this carbon has sp2, and this carbon has sp2. You can clearly make out that this carbon has 3 sigma bonds here, like this. It has 3 sigma bonds with another carbon, and this carbon also has 3 sigma bonds like this, and this carbon also has 3 sigma bonds like this. So you can clearly make out that this is sp2, sp2, and sp2 carbon. Pi bonds will always be formed between pure orbitals only. So there is one pure orbital here, one pure orbital here. Between those two, there is a pi bond forming. This is about pure p orbital. And then there is a pure p orbital here also, but it does not have any electrons because this positive charge suggests that it is an empty orbital. I'm hoping that all of you are able to make it out. So therefore, you can see that there are three pure orbitals, out of which one pi bond is forming here. And you can see adjacent carbon is a parallel orbital. So immediately this pi bond will start, sharing towards this side also. Which means pi bond earlier was existing between two carbons. Now this pi bond has moved towards three carbons, which means it got delocalized or not. This is what we call it as delocalization. So this pi bond got delocalized and now it exists between three carbons. Everybody understood that, right? So yes, definitely we can expect a delocalization because of a parallel empty pi orbital present here. So in these type of situations, observe it carefully. We have a pi bond continued by we have a double bond continued by a single bond, and then there is an empty orbital. This type of a situation will always give a delocalization because this pi bond is nothing but a delocalization, a pi bond between two p orbitals. And if there is another sigma bond here, then there is an empty orbital. So this pi will shift to this pi here and delocalization will take place. Everybody understood that? So we will try to recognize the patterns in which the delocalization is happening. So one pattern what we found is pi single bond plus. Okay, remember the first pattern. Pi single bond, that is pi sigma bond plus. Pi sigma bond plus. So in this pattern, we have seen delocalization taking place. Let us see the next pattern. Suppose if you check out the hybridization in all of these cases, this is sp2, this carbon is sp2, this carbon is a single bonded carbon. So this is sp3 carbon, and again there is sp2 carbon. Now you can see based on how the structural analysis is, there is a pi bond existing between these two carbons. No issue. But there is no empty pi orbital present on this carbon. There is an empty pi orbital present on this last carbon for sure. Okay. But immediate adjacent carbon does not have any pi orbital. Okay. So there is no vacant pi orbital or there is no pi bond present here at all. So delocalization will only happen to the adjacent carbon, which is parallel pi orbital. So there is no parallel pi orbital like this. There is no existence of pi orbital like this here on the adjacent carbon. Hence the delocalization does not take place. So see the pattern again, recognize the pattern. There is a pi bond, then there is a sigma bond, then there is a sigma bond, then there is a plus charge. So in this type of pattern, you cannot see delocalization taking place. But if you observe the earlier pattern, we had pi bond, then we had a sigma bond, then we had a plus charge. So here definitely a delocalization is appeared. Let us see the next one here. In this situation, if you observe closely, now we can simply check out the patterns. Pi bond, sigma bond, plus charge. So pi bond here, then sigma bond, then plus charge. We have just learned that pi sigma plus will always give you delocalization. So here definitely delocalization is possible. Same way you can recognize here. This is pi. You can see this is pi, sigma and positive. So pi, sigma and positive. So here also delocalization is seen. Okay. Similar to just like how we have done pi, sigma and plus, we can have pi, sigma and minus also. First, I'll explain the sixth one, then I'll come to the fifth one. Check out the sixth one here. Here, Check out hybridizations. This is sp2 hybridized, sp2 hybridized, and this carbon which is supposed to be CH2 minus, this is sp3 hybridized originally. Why sp3? Check out carefully. It has two hydrogens here and it has one lone pair, and then there is one bond with this carbon where it is double bonded with the next carbon like this. Okay, this structure is same as this structure. Observe it carefully. There is a negative charge, which means there is a lone pair present on it. So there is a lone pair with negative charge on this carbon. This is how this structure is. So this carbon also does not have any pi bond, correct? But lone pairs are very sensitive. You know what does lone pairs do? Lone pairs, when they find a parallel pi or a parallel pure p orbital here, because there is a parallel pure p orbital, it will lose out its hybridization and changes into a pure p orbital. So from here, being an sp2 hybridized, now it will try to become an sp2 hybridized carbon. Okay, so now it will become an sp2 hybridized carbon, and make sure this lone pair is available now in pure p orbital. Everybody, please understand that. So from this carbon, which is sp3, now it has changed to sp2, which has a pure p orbital now with a lone pair present on it. Just now we have discussed about, energy of pairs of electrons. Lone pair will always have more energy as compared to that of pi, as compared to that of sigma. Now this lone pair has a chance to delocalize to this pi orbital because it is a parallel pi orbital, and here again there is one parallel pi orbital. So this lone pair will start shifting here, or rather it will start sharing to this carbon, and these two electrons will shift on to the other carbon here. So what would the situation happen here? If you see from here, now this carbon will be seen with two electrons, that is with lone pair, and this carbon will have one shared orbital here like this. Got it? So earlier the shared orbital was here. Got it? So pi bond was originally existing here, but as this lone pair started pushing here, pi bond has developed between these two carbons, and this electron has jumped onto this carbon and made it as a lone pair here. Everybody understood? And this process will continue. Again, from this lone pair, it will start sharing here, and this will start becoming a lone pair on this side. But I hope all of you understood how a hybridized sp3 hybridized orbital force itself to become unhybridized and become a pure p orbital when there is a resonance happening. Okay, okay beta, any species will try to achieve towards more stable state, correct? Lone pair present on only one carbon center with one nucleus, that will be unstable as compared to this lone pair present over three carbons. Yes or no? Because more the delocalization, more uniformity, more stability. Correct? So instead of existing as sp3, now it has a chance to delocalize. So it will force itself to become unhybridized and become pure p orbital. Clear on that? Everybody understood this pattern? Right. So the pattern what we learned here is pi, then sigma and negative charge. Unlike there, you can see there is pi, sigma and negative charge. Check out pi, sigma and minus. This is a pattern in which delocalization is being observed. Okay, students. Now check out here. In this case, when you have, okay, now you can see this pattern is repeated in this fifth case. Observe carefully. There is a pi, sigma and negative charge. So pi, sigma, negative charge. In this case also delocalization is observed. I hope that justifies from the sixth one. Okay, everybody. Check out the seventh one. If you have pi, sigma, pi, sigma, pi, in this case also you can have resonance, because first originally pi was here, One pi was here, one pi bond was here. Now, since all of them are parallel orbitals only, so this pi will start moving here also, this pi will start moving here also. So delocalization will take place if you have pi, sigma, pi as well. So in this pattern also, you would see delocalization happening. Everybody is clear on that, right? So we found mainly, so far we found four major types. One is pi, sigma plus, pi, sigma minus, pi, sigma, pi. In all of these patterns, we have seen delocalization happen. Another pattern, if you observe here, suppose if you have a lone pair, this lone pair, as we learned, as always has more energy as compared to that of pi bonds. So delocalization will happen from here, which means this lone pair will enter into an unhybridized orbital and start making a pi bond here. So this delocalization of pi, these electrons would happen from this lone pair. So that forces itself to become unhybridized and make a double bond formation here. So you can observe something like this happening here, where you have pi bonds, lone pair like this, correct? Hydrogen. Now this lone pair is in a hybridized orbital, which is sp2. This is also, this entire thing you can check out. This is sp2, this sp2 oxygen, and this lone pair now is, making a pi bond here, and the pi bond which is already present between these three, if you check out, this is how the pi bond was present. So this pi bond will start moving because the lone pair will start making a pi bond here. So this pi bond will start moving here, it will move here, and the entire ring will start moving around this lone pair. Here everyone. So that's how the resonance will take place in the case of lone pair, pi and sigma. Now, if you observe the other pattern, what we found just now is pi, sigma and lone pair. Observe these four patterns, everybody. Pi sigma plus, pi sigma negative, pi sigma pi, pi sigma lone pair. In all of these cases, we will find delocalization happening. Okay. So these patterns which we have found, right? These type of patterns, structural patterns, are called conjugation. Everyone, now you should come across the definition of conjugation. So conjugation is nothing but a structural pattern which enables delocalization in the species, and those are called conjugated structures. So now see it in this case, pi, sigma and plus. Pi, sigma plus, we have just seen there is a resonance happening. How do we represent resonating structures? See here. Let us see with this first example. We have a pi bond here, sigma bond here, and plus charge here. Okay. So how do I show that? I'll show this pi bond is shifting to this carbon and carbon. That's how it is getting a double bond. And since this pi bond is shifted here, this carbon has a loss of electrons. So this positive charge will reappear here. These two are called the canonical structures. And to represent the canonical structures, we will use this symbol, equivalent symbol. This represents I'm moving to the next canonical. And when I use three lines, it means I'm finally adding up all of them and writing their hybrid, the resonance hybrid. So in the resonance hybrid, you can see this carbon has no charge and the same carbon has plus charge once. Once it has plus charge, one it has no charge. Means overall it will have some amount of delta positive charge. Last carbon, this has plus charge. This does not have no charge, which means overall it will have some plus charge. The center carbon has no charge always, so don't write any charge on this carbon. And pi bond was forming between these two carbons also. It was forming between these two carbons also. Okay, so that's how the resonance hybrid is forming. Everybody understood this point, right? So electrons will always move from high energy to the low energy, correct? So that is why pi bond, between pi bond and sigma bond, Which one will move? Pi bond will always move. So pi bond started moving and making a delocalization here. I hope all of you understood how to write the canonicals and how to write the resonance hybrid. Now here, if the question is asked how many canonicals are present for this molecule, you will say 2. For this species, there are 2 canonicals, and hybrid will always be 1. So you can see there are 2 cano structures and 1 hybrid. See the next question here. Got it? Please do not write anything. We'll be doing problems. Otherwise, first let me explain all of the types. Then you'll get a better idea to do the questions. Check. Same pattern here also. Pi, sigma, plus. So here also definitely there would be resonance happening. So how should I show that? I will show like this. This pi is shifted to these 2 carbons, and here double bond got formed and plus charge has formed here. So these 2 are the canonicals. Again, the system has the same thing. Pi sigma plus. Observe carefully. Pi sigma plus. Pi sigma plus. So this is also a conjugation which can take place. So again, I'll move this pi to this side, and pi bond will shift here. Double bond will come here. So positive charge will be shifted to this point. Again, this double bond will shift here. Same pattern repeats. That positive charge comes onto this side. Okay. And same pattern repeats here also. This pi bond shifts here. Correct? Double bond will come here. Positive charge will come back to this point. So now if you were asked how many canonicals this molecule can have, you can see how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 canonicals you will get. From here, if you try to repeat it back, you will get the same structures again and again. Got it? So we don't have to repeat that once again. So totally how many you will have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 canonicals you will get. How does the hybrid look like? Observe it carefully. This carbon has positive charge at least once or twice. You can see twice it has positive charge. 3 cases it does not have positive charge. So definitely I will put positive charge on this carbon for sure. At the same time, you will see at ortho position and at para position, there is always a positive charge. Either ortho or para, there is a positive charge. Meta, there is no positive charge ever. This is meta, 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 and meta. So in meta position, there is no positive charge. So positive charge is only moving around ortho and para positions. And electrons are completely moving around the entire benzene ring and here also. So this is the hybrid structure which you have to write. I guess all of you understood this point, how to write the hybrid. Let me show you one more case. See this one, same pattern, pi sigma plus. So it is pi sigma plus. So from pi bond, I will make the shift. So plus charge will come here, right? Next, again the same pattern, pi sigma plus. So plus charge will be moved, lone pair would be moved here, plus charge would come here, and this would come here, right? Now if you check out the hybrid, plus charge is moving onto this carbon, and last carbon. This peak carbons, there is no positive charge coming. So delta positive is coming here, here, and here. Okay. And electrons are moving throughout the entire chain like this. Now see, if you have pi sigma pi, we have positive charge here, 2 double bonds here, correct? Now this pi can be shifted here and this pi can be shifted here. So we can have double bond here, positive here, negative here, and positive here, correct? Now problem is this molecule has too much of formal charges. Agreed? When you have too much of formal charges, its contribution is very, very, very less. You will only count those canonicals whose contribution is sensible. Understood? So these 3 canonicals will have sensible contribution. Even in the exam, you will not write this as the contributing canonical structure. Okay, everybody? So always try to follow the patterns. And always try to follow that pattern where you have least number of formal charges. Everybody clear on that? So here you can see this type of pattern will give you canonicals which are highly unstable. See, even for the benzene also, when you have benzene, why we are taking only these two canonicals? We are only considering canonicals as these two. I could have a lot other canonicals like this. No, I can have plus and minus here. I can have plus and minus here. Like this, I can make a lot of canonicals. But these are high. This contribution would be even 0.0001%. Hardly any contribution. So such type of contributing canonicals, we will not consider them as the canonical structures. Everybody understood this point? Okay. So therefore, only go with the conjugation patterns where you have least amount of formal charges. So the number of canonicals, if you were asked what are the number of canonicals, the answer should be 3. 1, 2, 3 canonicals and 1 hybrid. Okay, beta. Next one. This is cyclopropenyl carbocation. So this is cyclopropenyl carbocation. Here you can see this pi can be shifted here. This is also pi sigma plus. As soon as it shifts here, positive charge will come here. Again, I can shift the pi here. The positive charge will come here. Okay. Right. So on all the carbons, plus charge is coming. You can check out. It is coming on this carbon once, this carbon once. It is coming on this carbon once. It is coming on this carbon once. When positive charge is coming on all the carbons in a cyclic structure, you can represent the positive charge like this. This is the resonance hybrid. Okay. You may not have to show the positive charge on each and every carbon. You can directly show it this way, as positive charge is present on all the carbons together. So tell me how many canonicals? 3 canonicals, 1 hybrid. Okay, everybody? Very good. Next, see tropylium carbocation. Its name is tropylium. This is called tropylium carbocation. Imagine starting positive charge from here. So we have pi sigma plus. So how do I delocalize? This pi bond I will shift here. Okay. So pi bond will come onto this carbon. Plus charge will come onto this carbon. Pi bond shifted here. Again, the same pattern keeps repeating. Pi bond shifted onto this carbon. Positive charge comes onto the here. Again, pi bond shifts here. Positive charge comes here. Okay. Now again from here you can see pi bond shifts here. Positive charge comes here. Pi bond shifts here. Positive charge comes here. Pi bond shifts here. Positive charge comes here. Okay. And again pi bond shifts here. Pi bond shifts here. Positive charge comes back here. Observe carefully. I was able to get all different canonicals and get back to the first one. From here I started. After moving around the entire ring, again I get back to the first one. All right. These two are same canonicals now. So now count the total number of canonicals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On 7 carbons, the positive charge is moving. In fact, it is moving on all the carbons. Therefore, how do I write the hybrid? With a circle and a plus here. If you already have a positive charge now, beta, suppose if you already imagine there is a positive charge already existing like this. Clear? If you already have a positive charge, this itself is an unstable species. Now, if you are thinking something like this will exist, like negative, positive, double bond, plus, correct? This type of contribution will be least because of too much of formal charges. You may have learned in chemical bonding, more the formal charge, less is the stable molecule. You will always try to make the Lewis structures which have least amount of formal charges. Correct? So if you see this versus this contribution, the contribution of this canonical would be very, very high. That's why we are ignoring these type of molecules which will give any sort of contribution. Between positive, negative, yeah, that is the same as saying this, na beta. Suppose if positive is here, you are saying positive, negative, there is a bond. That is same as the canonical here. which is a delocalized canonical. If you just delocalize this pattern, you'll get the same form. So why to bother writing this negative positive, right? You'll write these two as the contributing structures. I hope all of you understood this point. Right. See now. Suppose if there are two positives, okay, here also you will move this pi bond accordingly. So here you can think this pi bond has moved to this side. So this positive will shift to this carbon. So you can see this way. And again move this pi bond here. So this positive will move to this carbon. Correct? Again move this pi bond here. Correct? So what do we get? This positive will shift to this point. Got it? So if you observe, carbon is moving on, a positive charge is moving on all the carbons. Correct? So how do we represent here now? So same way. So resonance is happening throughout the entire structure with 2 plus, because here there are two positive charges. So that would be the hybrid structure. So this is the hybrid structure. So I'm hoping that all of you understood how to write the hybrid structure now. Once we clear off all the general patterns, we have a lot of examples to work out. Okay. Check. In this case, again, how does it work? This pi bond will shift here. Positive charge will come here. Again, the pi bond will shift here. Positive charge will come here. So these three are the canonicals. And check out how the resonance is happening. Resonance is happening from this carbon to this carbon only. These two carbons here, between these two bonds, there is no pi bond delocalization. Pi bond is delocalized only over this carbon. And positive charge is coming over these three carbons, right? 1, 2, here, not here, 1, 2, 3. So you'll write delta positive here, and delta positive here. There are certain cases where we need to be very careful about if there is any pi bond existence or not. Suppose here the pattern is observed pi sigma plus. Okay, we can see it as pi sigma plus. But this plus does not indicate there is an empty orbital. This is an ammonia molecule. If you remember NH4 plus, does NH4 plus has any empty orbital? No, it is actually have an sp3 structure here. It has an sp3 structure like this with positive charge. But that positive charge does not mean it has an empty orbital. So if you think like maybe I will delocalize here, problem is there is no pi bond here, there is no empty orbital here to accept this pi bond. So this does not happen. This delocalization does not take place. So there are no canonicals like this which are forming. Think about it. Even if you think like, okay, there is a canonical, there are 5 bonds coming on nitrogen, which is not possible. The covalency of nitrogen, the maximum covalency of nitrogen is only 4. So it cannot have 5 bonds. So this structure is incorrect. Which means in aniline, the delocalization does not happen between pi sigma plus, but the delocalization happen within the ring, na? Because there is a pi sigma pi, correct? So since there is a delocalization that will happen, this is the resonance hybrid which you will get. Okay. What are the canonicals? If you were asked what are the number of canonicals, the answer is only 2. That is NH3 plus. This is one canonical, NH3 plus, and this is the second canonical. So these two are canonicals and this is the hybrid structure. Everybody understood this point? So you got to be careful whether there is an empty orbital present or not, or vacant orbital available for bonding or not. I hope all of you are familiar with positive pi, sigma and plus conjugations. Any doubts, students? Right, see the next conjugation here. The next type of conjugation is pi, sigma and vacant orbital. Okay, if you have instead of positive charge, there could be vacant orbital directly. In this case, you can see pi, sigma and boron has an empty orbital. Empty orbital is nothing but a vacant p orbital here. So I can show this way that this pi can make a bond here And now boron got negative charge here and this got positive charge. If you compare these two, this will be more contributing. But you should not avoid writing this because you are trying to stabilize boron by completing its octet. So both of them are contributing canonicals. So if the question is asked, how many canonicals? 2 canonicals. Everybody understood this point? And how do we write the hybrid here? This way, with boron is getting negative ones and this carbon is getting positive ones. That would be the hybrid. Clear, everyone? So pattern is here. There is a pi bond originally, and because of the empty pi bond present here, the delocalization took place. If you consider this and this, one is more stable because it has less formal charge. Finished, everybody? Check out. Don't write anything. Okay, I'll be sharing the notes. First, we will try to learn the patterns, then we'll do all the examples. Next, see the next conjugation, pi, sigma and negative charge. So pi, sigma and negative charge. What do we call this? This is allylic carb anion. See, if carbon has positive charge on it, we call it as carbocation. Carbocation. If carbon has negative charge holding on it, we call it as carb anion. Okay, so remember that. What is carb anion? So this is an allylic positioned carb anion. So this is allylic carb anion. So in allylic carb anion, you can see that this pi, this lone pair can shift here, and this pi can shift as a lone pair onto this carbon. So you can see these two canonicals will start. Never start pi bonding with, never start resonance with this pi bond. I told you that lone pair has more energy than the pi bond. So you should always start resonance from the lone pair, okay? Not from the pi bond. In any structure given, always start from the lone pair present, okay? So these two are canonicals. And how is the hybrid here? Delta negative here and delta negative here. And electrons are moving between these 3 carbons. Everybody check out the hybrid. I hope all of you understood this point. Correct? So wherever you see negative charge, actually it is a lone pair. Like this. It is always a lone pair present on it. Okay, see the next molecule. This is benzene with the next carbon present, alpha carbon, that is called benzylic, and this is an anion, that's why it is benzylic carb anion. So in benzylic carb anion, see how the resonance starts. From here, you will give this negative charge as a double bond, and this pi bond, you will shift it as negative charge. Got it? Here, 2 arrows will come together. Earlier, so far you may have seen, only 1 arrow was moving, correct? Because there was an empty orbital, we didn't have to show any movement of that. But here, it is the electrons which are moving from the lone pair. So always, whenever the lone pair is involved, every time resonance happens, 2 arrows will follow. One showing the pi bond is, lone pair is making a pi bond. Second, at the same time, the lone pair is becoming a pi bond. I mean, the pi bond is becoming a lone pair. So you will get this negative charge here. Same thing, this negative charge, you will close it as double bond, and this double bond will, change it into lone pair. Again, lone pair converts into double bond converts into lone pair. So you'll get this molecule here. Okay. So from here, again, lone pair converts into double bond converts into lone pair. So observe carefully. So we have 5 different canonical structures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 canonical structures. Now to write the hybrid, check out. First, I will write the circle here showing the electrons are moving from the outermost carbon to inside carbon. There was delta negative here, delta negative here, delta negative here, and delta negative here. Did you notice something? When we delocalize positive charge and when we delocalize negative charge, in both the cases, that positive and negative charge are appearing on ortho and para position only. And this becomes an important concept as we go ahead later on. So start analyzing that positive charge and negative charge in both the cases were present on ortho and para position only. Clear, everyone? Now, let me show you how the phenoxide works. In phenoxide also, this lone pair will start making a pi bond. Pi bond will become a lone pair. Lone pair will start becoming a pi bond. Pi bond will become lone pair. Lone pair, pi bond, lone pair. Lone pair, pi bond, lone pair. So again, 5 canonicals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 canonicals. So you will move around here like this with delta negative, negative, delta negative, and here we have delta negative as well. So all of you observe this carefully. So once you learn how the pattern works, it becomes easy to draw the canonical structures. Okay, everybody. See the next one, acetate ion. Here also always start from the lone pair. This pi bond will shift. So this gets negative. Here you will get a double bond formation. So these two are, you know that this is an acetate ion. Acetate ion will have 2 canonicals. And if you write the hybrid, the electrons are moving between these 3 species. This getting delta negative and this getting delta negative. This is the hybrid. 2 canonicals, 1 hybrid. Okay. Now, E is quite similar to that of the above, right? Anyways, now coming to F. In F, observe it here. Here also it looks the similar pattern. Lone pair, sigma and pi. So all I can expect is that I will share like this, make it as a pi bond, and this pi bond I'll make it as a lone pair. But the problem is they are not parallel orbitals now. When it comes to bridgehead carbons here, so these are bridgehead carbons, this one and this one are bridgehead carbons. On bridgehead carbons, the pi bond which is present here, or the orbital which is present here, that would be perpendicular to this orbital. Correct? So even if you make this as an unhybridized, try to make it as unhybridized, it would be difficult to make. It will always be an sp3 hybridized orbital only. And they are not parallel orbitals, so no delocalization will take place. So this type of a delocalization does not take place. So this is a place where you will not see this conjugation happens. Clear, everyone? Because they are not parallel orbitals. See the next pattern, pi, sigma and lone pair. See here, the negative charge also is a lone pair. Here this is a lone pair with neutral charge. That's all the differences. Here we can see lone pair will make a double bond formation here, and this will shift here. What is this one? This is vinyl chloride, right? So vinyl chloride, resonance will happen here. Got it? That's why it is very difficult to break carbon chlorine bond, because it will have partial double bond character. So these two are the contributing canonicals. And if you see the hybrid, this is how it would be with delta positive and delta negative, right? Same thing works for OH also. You would complete this pattern, everybody. I want all of you to complete this pattern. Next, I will explain the C1. Check out. There is a lone pair pi bond, a lone pair sigma bond and pi bond. So I would write the contribution from here. Lone pair will become pi bond will become lone pair. So there will be plus and minus, and this minus will keep moving now. Correct? But point is, this minus, if at all it has to move here, there is no other parallel orbital present here. So it will stop here only. Same way, this lone pair can contribute on the other side also, like this side, and this will be contributed. So then you will get this type of a bond here. So two sides it will contribute. Got it? Once when it is contributing to this side, I mean when the resonance is happening on left side, you will get this canonical. When the resonance is happening on the right side here, like this, then this canonical will appear. So totally we can get only these 3 canonicals. And how the electrons are delocalized, check out from here till here, it is delocalized. These two bonds here, if you check out between these bonds, there is no delocalization. Here there is no delocalization. And positive and negative, if you check out, there is delta negative here, and delta positive here. So this will be the hybrid. This molecule is known as pyran. So pyran will have this type of resonance with 3 canonicals and 1 hybrid. See, thiophene. This is a very interesting molecule, thiophene. In thiophene, we have 2 lone pairs on sulfur and lone pair sigma and pi. That should give conjugation. So this lone pair will shift here, pi will shift here. Okay, so you will get this. Again, this minus will make it as a double bond. Lone pair will become minus. Minus will become double bond here. Now sulfur has empty d orbitals, correct? So this would have empty d orbitals, which could be parallel to this, lone pair carrying orbital. So there could be a pi bond forming here also. Got it? So this type of a conjugation is also possible in case of sulfur. Clear, everybody? Right? Next, this pi bond is also possible, and again this pi bond which is there, this could move here, so which makes minus. Lone pair shifts here, pi bond shifts here. Again we get here, this double bond can shift, lone pair can shift here, and this pi bond can come back to its original position like this. So you can see so many contributing structures. So if you observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contributing structures before you get the same molecule again. Sulfur has donated on this side, but carbon has donated on this side. So that will compensate the charge. Okay. So overall, these are the number of canonicals you can get. So if you see, this entire charge is moving towards the all carbons here. Clear, everybody? And now I am not if you see, the negative charge is all coming on all the carbons here. Each and every carbon I am getting negative charge. Sulfur I am getting positive charge in few cases. So therefore I'll write this as negative, 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 and delta positive. That's how the resonance is. Their energy is same. They are 2 different canonicals. Okay. See, please understand, structurally they might be same. It does not mean they are same canonicals. Canonical means it is like you are pinning all the atoms. You are putting all the atoms stationary. They are not moving. Now just keep moving electrons. Can you get these 2 structures or no? This one and as well as this one. Let me remind you where we started. We started with the cases that we can have different Lewis structures, correct? Which are contributing, and all the Lewis structures are going to give the property of that molecule. Clear? These are all the Lewis structures which I have drawn. Even in case of benzene also, no, but can I say these 2 structures are same or no? Are these 2 structures different? Structurally same, no? But are they 2 same canonicals or different canonicals? Different. Why? Because the electrons distribution I'm showing different here and different here, correct? Clear, everybody? Right? Structurally they are same, but canonical wise they are different. Okay, everybody? So you can see that there are 6 canonicals above, 1 hybrid. See, this structure is called pyrrole. This is a pyrrole structure. In pyrrole structure, what it is happening, you can check out. The lone pair will start, making the resonance, and the pi bond will shift here. So minus charge will come here. So minus will again make a double bond will become minus. And minus, when it becomes double bond here, nitrogen does not have an empty d orbital. So to accommodate these electrons, it has to push this pi bond again. So you will get across this type of canonical. And again, This minus will be pushed here, lone pair will come here. Lone pair will become double bond and this will come back to the original structure. Check out carefully everybody. Take some time and check how it is. So how many contributing canonicals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 canonicals. Now if you were asked between thiophene and pyrrole, which is more stable? Which one do you say is more stable? Our case, T and E. Thiophene, yes, because it has more number of resonating structures. So hybrid, you can see from here, it is all moving with delta negative, 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 and negative, and delta positive. So that will be the hybrid. Last one is a pyridine structure. In pyridine structure, problem is this nitrogen is sp2 hybridized. It is sp2 hybridized with lone pair present perpendicular to the pi orbitals. These are the pi orbitals and it is perpendicular to the pi orbitals here. Got it? Already there is one pi bond which is present, which is making a resonance here, here, and here. Got it? But this lone pair does not have any involvement because it is perpendicular to these pi bonds. Everyone understand that? So this lone pair is always localized. This is a localized electrons, localized pair. So sometimes it would be asked, does the lone pair present on pyridine involves in resonance? No, this lone pair does not involve in resonance because nitrogen already has used one electron, one p orbital for pi bond formation. So the other lone pair which is present is a part of sp2 hybridized nitrogen. Okay, let's check out. Suppose if you have nitrogen to make sp2, how do you make sp2 in nitrogen? We will take one electron from 2s, correct? One from 2s, one lone pair, one electron, and this, correct? So these three you mix. This is p, p, and p. So you'll get sp2, sp2, and one pure p orbital is left. You can see this. So when nitrogen happens to have lone pair, there would be one lone pair, one single electron here, one single electron here, and this is the pure p orbital. You can see this is sp2, sp2, and sp2 hybridized orbital. Clear everybody? And this sp2 hybridized orbital is making a bond with the carbon. So we got a bond like this with nitrogen and carbon, and that's how the structure has formed. This one with a lone pair. Is this clear how the sp2 has formed? Now this pi bond which is present, or this pure p orbital which is present, that is going to make resonance with, that is going to make a pi bond formation with these carbons. Clear? So it will make a pi bond here, these two make a pi bond here, and these two make a pi bond here. Clear, beta? Now tell me, this pi bond, this lone pair, is it perpendicular or parallel to this pi bond here? It is perpendicular. So does this lone pair will be involved in resonance? No. That is the question. Understood? So in pyridine, that lone pair is always localized. It is not going to be involved in resonance. Okay. And how does the hybrid look like, beta? Hybrid will run over the entire nitrogen here, like this. This is the hybrid structure. Suppose if you have CH2 double bond CH, CH2 dot, like this it is present. Now what does this mean? Radical means there is an extra electron present. There is an electron which is unbonded. So the actual structure is like this: hydrogen, carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen, with next carbon which has hydrogen connected to another carbon which has two hydrogens here. Got it? And all of them are sp2 hybridized. This is sp2, this is also sp2. Since it is sp2, it would have one pure p orbital here, and between them there is a pi bond formation. There is a pi bond formation here. Now if you see this particular carbon, this also has an empty this also has a p orbital but not empty. It would have one electron present in it. So this is one electron present in it. Clear? So if it would have been positive, you know how the resonance takes place. Let me just recall. CH2 double bond CH and CH2 plus. This is allylic carbocation. In allylic carbocation, we have seen the resonance will take place, and I can write the canonical as CH2 plus CH double bond CH2. This is how it is. What we used to do, we used to completely shift this pi bond here, and this positive charge will reappear on this carbon. That's how we made the canonicals. This is for carbocation. In a similar lines here also, because there is one electron already present here, what will happen? Here the electrons will go back to its original position, which means if you see this structure, now the structure would reappear something like this, where you have electrons on all of them like this. Now, once the electron distribution has happened, these two will make the pi bond. Clear, everybody? So that single electron got shifted from this carbon to this carbon. You can see. So how do I show that? Here, I will show resonance this way. This is this half arrow. This is a fish hook arrow or a half arrow. You see, if you write this way, this is a complete arrow. If you write this way, this is a complete arrow. If you write only half, this is called fish hook arrow. So I'm showing fish hook arrows here to show that this pi bond got distributed such a way, one electron came back to this carbon, the original electron which was present on this carbon, that came back. Now these two dots are making a pi bond here. So therefore now the canonical would be CH2 single bond, CH double bond, CH2. Now the dot is appearing here. So these two are the canonicals. And how does the hybrid look like? We'll have this as CH2, CH, CH2 with this way dot and dot here. We have CH2 dot. So this CH2 dot will start moving. So I'll use this fish hook arrows like this. And I will start moving around here with CH2 and dot will come here. Basically, you're doing exactly the same thing what we have done with carbocations, except that in the carbocation we are delocalizing positive charge. Here we'll be delocalizing this dot. That's all. Now here also again it will split to this side and this side, and you'll get canonical like this with dot here, double bond, double bond, double bond, CH2. I guess all of you got this now, and you can keep going ahead till you get all the canonicals, and finally you'll get the hybrid like this with CH2. The resonance is moving throughout the ring. Here also with dot here, 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 and here. You can see again dot comes in ortho and para positions. First, let me show one of them. Here, suppose in this diagram, what is the first thing you will see? You will see, is there any lone pair present? Next, is it in a conjugation form or not? That is sigma. This is lone pair sigma pi. Definitely it is in a conjugation form. Now you will know that this pi will shift here, this lone pair will shift here, this will shift here, correct? So first I will have a canonical like this with double bond, minus, and a double bond. Again this minus will shift, this minus will shift here, this lone pair will shift here, I mean this pi bond will shift here. So we'll get minus, double bond, OH. While it is giving electrons, it will get positive charge here, positive charge here, correct? Now you know the contributing ones. How does the hybrid looks like now? So you will get the hybrid like this. with O and H, with delta positive here, delta negative here, and delta negative here. So this will be the hybrid of the first question. Lone pair will shift here. Pi bond will shift here. So what do I get? H2C with minus, single bond, CH, there is H here, I forgot H here, double bond, NH, CH3 plus. These are the only two contributing canonicals. Okay. So accordingly, you can write the hybrid. In hybrid, nitrogen will get positive, this carbon will get negative. Okay, everybody. See this sixth one now. In sixth one thought that usually comes, sir, there are two lone pairs here. But is this in a conjugation form? This lone pair is not in a conjugation form. Remember the conjugation forms. Let me keep reminding that again and again. Pi sigma pi. Pi sigma lone pair. Pi sigma empty orbital or a positive charge. This lone pair could be negative charge also. This could be empty orbital also. Okay, this type of a conjugation must be there. Then only you will see this type of a conjugation. Then only you will see the lone pair will participate. Here it is lone pair sig pi. There is no sigma in between. So this lone pair does not participate in any canonicals. Okay. Now there are two ways you can make the resonance. Observe carefully. You can make pi to shift here, pi to shift here. I will get this as O plus here, correct? With double bond shifted here, negative shifted here. Or I can make the other way also, that this pi bond shifting here and this pi bond shifting onto oxygen. So what is the other canonical I will get? O minus double bond with negative charge here. Okay. So these are the canonicals which I'll get. So it got two lone pairs, three lone pairs. Okay. Everybody is with me on that. This is plus. Right. Now between these two canonicals, wait a minute. Okay. Between these two canonicals, if you observe, oxygen getting positive charge is highly unstable. Other day we have learned, right? Oxygen, can it hold positive charge better or negative charge better? It will always hold negative charge better. So when there is a carbon getting negative charge and oxygen getting positive charge, would this be possible? That it is as if carbon is able to pull the electrons towards itself. Will that be possible? Have you understood what I'm trying to say? Logically, this is not possible because oxygen is more electronegative element. So that would have more ability to pull electrons towards itself. So only contributing canonical, one is this one, the other one is this one. This is not a contributing canonical at all. This is somewhere you have to be careful about that. If there is two electronegative elements present, the one which has high electronegativity, electrons will only drag towards that side, not towards the less electronegative. What beta? Yes beta, contribution wise, this would be most contributing as compared to this one. Clear? Such type of cases, you will not be asked number of canonicals. Okay beta, because that is always a problem in showing how many canonicals, because it does not mean this is not contributing, but very highly contributing will be this bond. Got it? In this case, you will be only asked hybrid beta. They will not ask you canonicals. So what will be the hybrid now? It will be delta positive on this side, delta negative on this side, and electrons are running from this to this. Okay, this will be the hybrid. Clear everyone? See, one more question I'll show you, then you guys can start working. Okay, see here, 28th. Check out everybody. This is a good question. Where do you start the resonance? There are two lone pairs here. There is one lone pair here. Always start the lone pair with a charge, negative charge. Clear? And see whether this will involve in resonance or not. Lone pair, sigma, pi bond. So definitely there is an involvement of resonance. So you will start working from here. Shift pi bond, shift lone pair as a pi bond. Pi bond has a minus charge here. So I will get molecule something like this here with double bond, with a double bond here, with minus charge here, double bond and double bond. Keep working on like this and make sure it goes towards oxygen also. So oxygen will also get negative charge on it. So finally, when you write the hybrid will look something like this, where double bond was here, that started moving from this point. It came all the way here. From here, it didn't come between these two carbons, right? Sorry. Right? From there, it went to this one, and it went towards oxygen also, and delta negative, delta negative, delta negative, delta negative, and delta negative. This is how the resonance has happened. So this will be the resonance hybrid. Clear, everybody? Now, even if this lone pair does not participate, benzene will always have high resonance of its own. So you will show these lines also. Here also you will show these lines. Got it? That is because of aromaticity. We'll learn it in next to next class. So wherever there is a benzene present, make sure the entire ring will always have resonance.